What's up, guys, and welcome back to Libertalia Game Supply on this beautiful post-banless celebration of TENKI back at 3. I'm so excited to finally have this consistency back to full power in this deck. So we won't go through super thorough through the whole deck. A lot of it was explained in a previous list that I will post down below, and you guys can check that out if you want to see like the combo lines. This is mostly built to do F-Zero and then other stuff. So it's F-Zero first and then build a board behind F-Zero. Now we can go F-Zero or Constellar Diamond as like a nice big floodgate monster and play behind those. So the main combo pieces here, Torifu, Mahitatsu, and Arasuda are all at 3. Those effects are all just the ones that are going to be most effective at getting the board started. Torifu obviously being the first one, but these 9 cards are going to be likely the search targets for TENKI depending on what you draw. The one Harume, because it's an extender, you banish one to put an extra body on board. The double Haruko, because it is your rank up. You're probably going to search this drawing. It isn't super good unless you've already also drawn the other stuff that you needed. So you're hopefully searching this and then ranking up into that Amaterasu for the F-Zero play. These two are here because I just can't cut them. You guys already know the story with that. They're my boys. They're staying in there forever. If you wanted to play this deck as competitively as possible, I would definitely cut these and play something better. The one Hare, Turtle, Quillin, Centipede, and Sinew are here because they are graveyard effects. So we also have a Crane down here in the side deck. You could main deck it. It's just not a very good card. If anything, it's an extra body that you can special summon off of Torifu and put it in the graveyard and then banish it for Harume, so you get a couple of uses out of it that aren't its effect. But we have the Sinew, which is pretty much just a Crane out of the graveyard anyway, and so we want the effects to all be usable out of the graveyard because most of what you do dumps them into the graveyard. The hand traps here, we got double Ogre and double Veiler. These hand traps are the ones that I've selected because they act as a bridge for Small World. It's what gets you from, say you open Yamato in Small World, that Yamato then becomes a Torifu, and by banishing the Yamato and the Ghost Ogre, we'll say, and then you're able to search the Torifu and then combo from there, so it just adds consistency. Small World's just a really good card in this deck in particular because of how many things you play that are searchable off of it. So both 3 TENKI and 3 Small World can be used to get any of your combo pieces. Small World just requires you to have something in your hand to banish. So if you open anything that is, we'll say, in this selection of cards, and you need any of these cards, any of these 6 cards gets you to that card. So really, really good for the triple TENKI and the triple Small World for consistency. The one Foolish Burial, because so much of the deck operates out of the graveyard. The triple Foolish Droplet, because it is a board breaker, effect negator, attack reducer, just does a whole lot of stuff for not a whole lot of cost. And then these two are Bujin Spell and Traps. They're searchable off of Mikazuchi, which is kind of why I play them, and because they're in archetype Bujin back row cards that have been good in the past. Honestly, I would probably not play these either and play something a little better there, but I like the cards, so I want to play them. The Bujin Carnation is a comeback card, so if your board ends up empty, you can activate it, special summon a banished and a graveyarded Bujin card, and then overlay them right away for something. So it's like a less good Monster Reborn, I guess. And then Regalia the Sword. It has 2 effects. First one, you can target a Bujin in your graveyard and add it back to your hand, or you can target a Bujin in your Banish Zone and add it back to the graveyard. So it can get you recycle plays off of your Bujingis, which is usually what it's for. I suppose if there is an instance where you wanted a Torifu back out of the graveyard or one of your other combo pieces, it can be used for that too. And then the rest of the back row, double Imperm, triple Strike. Strike just combats some of the hand traps that you might be running into or summons that you might need to stop, and then Imperm is just, it's a good hand trap, but it's also good on field, being able to shut down a spell or trap in that zone. If you're stuck going second, you at least have some answers in your 6 hand traps here that you can make use of, or even side into that evenly matched if it's game 2. And then for the extra deck, it is mostly the same. The focus is on making the F-Zero here. There's a whole combo line that gets you to that F-Zero off of, I believe it's a 2-card combo, so Torifu plus any of these, Haruko, Mahitatsu, and Arasuda will get you to that F-Zero. That combo is in the video link down below, so check that out. But F-Zero is a beast in this deck, in any deck that can summon it, but in this deck it's like your boss monster. Then this little change here, Ptolemaeus and Constellar Diamond. Ptolemaeus' effect to be able to summon any rank 5 is okay. In this deck, it's just not worth it because you don't want to. If you have 3 bodies on board you can exceed someone with, you should definitely go F-Zero. You probably have everything you need to make F-Zero from that point. So you wouldn't want to burn those overlay just to make like a Cyber Dragon Infinity or something, which is what it was usually used for. So it's in here because you can overlay it and then main phase 2 overlay for Constellar Diamond, which is just a big floodgate. Neither player can send cards from the deck to the graveyard, and any card that returns from the graveyard to the hand is banished instead. During either player's turn, when an opponent's Dark Monster activates its effect, you can detach 1 material from this card, negate the activation, and destroy it. So it shuts down Dark Monsters, and then it's also a floodgate, so it stops things from being sent from deck to graveyard, which matters in your deck, but if you've summoned this thing, it's because you've already done all of your other summoning that you're going to do, and this is like your final seal of you don't get to play on your side of the field. So all in all, it's just a nice floodgate to have access to. I'm going to play test it a lot more. This all just kind of came together really quick, finding out that TENKI came back to 3, so I wanted to throw a little update for you guys. But this may or may not stay, we'll see. And then the Tornado Dragon for back row removal, and the Exciton Knight for board wiping, which could be a Zeus if you wanted. I just like the Exciton Knight. For the rest of the side deck here, it's not really like a super solid side deck, it's just stuff that I thought about. So the triple evenly for like going second. There's a third imperm, so if you were going second, I would probably go triple imperm, triple evenly, cut the strikes, and probably this. And then you have a little bit more going second power. The back row hate in the double twisters and the 1 feather duster. The hand trap hate in the called by. The Monster Reborn is just a play extender. This wouldn't really be in a side deck anywhere. I just may or may not end up playing it again. And then the double Nibiru, the reason it's Nibiru is because it's the only other hand trap that exists that meets the requirement for Small World to still be that bridge to get you to your Torifun or whatever. And so that's why it's down here. I wouldn't main deck it because if you play against a deck that doesn't do a whole lot of, heavy summoning comboing, it's a useless card and you have no reason to have it. And then the 1 Crane, I kind of explained that earlier. So there you go, really quick update. I will play test again and then I'll show you guys a in-person deck profile just so I can flex my shiny cardboard for y'all. But let me know, what are you planning on doing with this third TENKI? It looks like it was meant more for the Lyrilusk F-Zero combo, so if that's what you're playing, have at it. Please don't get my F-Zero banned. Otherwise, thank you guys for hanging out for a few minutes today, looking at this wonderful masterpiece of a deck. I'll see you guys on Friday still for a new deck profile, and happy deck building. I hope you guys have a great week. See you guys in the next one.